Patients will see results very quickly from a number of different perspectives. So the first thing they will notice is balance changes. So balance means fall prevention, so that's fantastic. They're basically able to switch on more musculature. The more primary actors that get turned on, the more secondary, meaning stabilization muscles, get switched on in activities of daily living. We call that long-term potentiation. So that's number one. Second thing that happens is they begin to see some postural changes, meaning better balance from a different perspective. So shoulders move back, so an exaggerated kyphotic curve goes back to more a neutral, younger looking spine and posture. So especially the female patients that you have will really enjoy looking younger. That does help them look younger, and they won't maybe know exactly why that they're looking younger, but they will probably get comments from their partners or friends that's happening as well. The third thing is looking at functional bone performance. So week by week, the individual will see changes in the function of how much force is able to go through the bone. So this is adaptations of tendons, of ligaments, and the bone density, as well as the nervous system adaptations of that long-term potentiation I was just talking about. So when that happens, they become very encouraged because they can see that they can control this metric of their health, and they can see they can build week by week that functional bone performance number. Now, how does this translate into metrics that the medical community is typically looking at? So some have seen results in 6 months between pre and post DEXAs, but insurance companies typically don't pay for DEXAs in that cadence. So maybe 1 year, maybe even 18 months, because of the error level of DEXA, having it that far apart, we know that we're going to be able to see some significant changes. Now, what's most exciting is the newer tests of bone which relate to blood markers. So one of the drawbacks of DEXA is there's an art to putting the bounding box in the right place by the DEXA technician, which is why in a clinical analysis, typically it has to be the same DEXA table used for pre and post with the same technician, which shows there's an art to this as opposed to just a science, which is unfortunate. However, with the blood tests, we look at catabolic measures and anabolic measures of bone. Now, when someone turns 30, typically the catabolic activity is higher than the anabolic activity. And that difference, that ratio becomes greater and greater as they age. And then once a female gets to menopause, then there's an even larger discrepancy between anabolic and catabolic. What we've seen with OsteoStrong is that this ratio can flip and they can have blood work that makes them look like someone under 30 because they're building bone density again. You can see that in 30 days of somebody beginning OsteoStrong.